Hello, podcast listeners and future Pitchstorm players. This is your host with the most, JJ. I aim to meet every single person in the world, and what a better way to do that than through coming up with fake movies. We're playing the game Pitchstorm today, and in the intro, Tucker and I are going to tell you about an internet scam that I fell victim to. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of JJ Meets World. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. JJ Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. JJ has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirls as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
So I got scammed on the internet, and I usually am someone who's like, listen, you can't take the internet seriously when it comes to purchases, especially right now. But a website had advertised like, hey, listen, we can put you on a list, and then when bleach wipes become available, like name brand Clorox, Lysol bleach wipes become available, we will contact you and you can purchase some. And so I had signed up on this list before. I had been to the website, I checked it out, and it seemed like it was legit. And then I did a review of it, and there were some very positive reviews. There's some people who said, oh, shipping took a little longer than expected, but no one had really said this is bad.
Okay.
So I signed up, and I got an email 2 months later saying, hey, we currently have stock and your name is next on the list. You can buy up to 10 of these 3-packs of bleach wipes. And I'm like, holy crap. That's a lot right now. Businesses want that. And they weren't charging more than you would find for these things at a store.
Uh-huh.
So I made the mistake of buying 10 and spending $113. Now, I purchased it through PayPal.
Okay.
Because I was like, PayPal puts another kind of barrier between me and the seller. And I also knew that PayPal would stand behind if there was something that was wrong. Now, here's where the scam is truly genius. PayPal will not initiate a transfer of funds until you can prove that you have shipped the product and provided a tracking number.
Oh.
So I got from the seller, because this website lets independent sellers work.
Uh-huh.
I got shipment, and it said, headed to Fargo, North Dakota, and nothing beyond that. No signature required. It said it was delivered on Thursday at 3:23 p.m. No, I was home at that time. Nothing was delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, maybe it says it's out for delivery. Waited that night. It didn't get there. The next day, it still wasn't there. So I opened up a case with the United States Postal Service and said, this has a tracking number. And they said, yes, indeed, it got delivered. And they said, after 2 interactions, they said, could you provide us with your address? And so I provided them with my address. And I said, that is not the Fargo, North Dakota address that this was sent to. So what this scammer does is he sends something, it could be an empty package, to a Fargo location that would be no one here by that name, stamp return to sender.
Oh.
It comes back to him, but it looks like they shipped your package appropriately.
Okay.
And so so then I worked with PayPal, and they said, well, we have to give this seller a chance to right the wrong, essentially.
Right.
And so, of course, this person hasn't been using the email address that is out there. So luckily, PayPal will have to return the money because I did not receive the goods. But it has become a month-long ordeal.
That's crazy. That's a new version of that I have not heard of yet.
I know. And here's the thing. The minute I clicked purchase, I immediately was like, I shouldn't have done that. I've never been to this website before. I really, so what are you going to do? But PayPal seems like they're pretty serious about trying to figure out a way to get their money back. Because at this point, PayPal's going to give me money. Not, they're not going to get it back from this guy.
Yep.
So
tricky.
Yeah. So, and here's the deal. If you are the victim of an online scam, it is embarrassing, but that shouldn't keep you from reporting it.
Right.
You should let your credit card company know, your bank. You should let your family members know. So if something comes to your home that you didn't order, that you received, I mean, this whole story about these seeds that are arriving to people from China.
Right.
these scams are meant to, here's the deal. I talked to a fraud expert who said, listen, this is what the fraudster does day in, day out. They are an expert at fraud.
Mm-hmm.
If they trick you, it's like if you raced in the Grand Prix and a Grand Prix legacy racer beats you, you shouldn't be sad because they do this all the time. They are professionals.
Right.
So that's my story. At least I'll get my $113 back. But I also at the same time, like, those wipes really would have helped. I work in an environment where I am moving into a studio and then back to my office, and there are a lot of shared spaces. Even with the things in my own home, like, I've tried to be careful with. So it really sucks, and I have felt foolish about it.
It's so, anytime there's any sort of like large public crisis, there's always going to be fraudsters that try to, or even not necessarily fraudsters, but unethical people who want to capitalize on it. So like when COVID, the lockdown first hit, there were people who were storing as much hand sanitizer as they could so they could mark it up like crazy and sell it, unethical stuff like that, where they're trying to take advantage of a situation and
war profiteering.
Right, basically. So that sucks, man. Well, I'm glad at the very least you're going to be getting your money back eventually.
Right.
That is nice.
Doing a little bit of research helps, even with the simple things like if someone contacts you on Facebook and says, "Oh, I need some money. Could you go and get $100 in gift cards and bring it and like send me the numbers on it?" No jail is ever going to let someone out for iTunes gift cards.
Right.
Just know that going in.
Right.
But you want to help that person. If you get contacted by your niece, you want to help your niece, but most of the time it's not actually them. One good thing I did receive in the mail, though, during this whole pandemic was I purchased a new game called Pitchstorm. And the game itself is all about creating fake movie plots that you're pitching to an executive who you hope to greenlight. And so we're joined today by John Kennedy and Britta Nelson. Tucker is our executive. There's some really good laughs. There is some, towards the end of this episode, like the last third, there's some objectionable content
Risque.
and language.
Yeah.
So if you are listening to this with little ears present, you may want to just like only listen until we open the expansion pack.
Yeah,
that's when it takes a turn.
This episode is officially explicit, so
Yeah.
you've been warned.
But let's get into it. Let's get into some of the fun today, and we're playing the game Pitchstorm.
JJ Meets World.
Welcome to the studio, previous guests John Kennedy and Britta Nelson.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you guys here. We are going to be play testing a game. It's a party game, a parlor game, and it's called Pitchstorm. So this episode of JJ Meets World will be us playing Pitchstorm. There are 4 of us in the room, including Tucker. Tucker will be the role of our executive. So he is going to decide ultimately who wins each round. John, Britta, and I are 3 writers who have to pitch a fake movie to a Hollywood executive, but we're going to be getting elements about this pitch based off of cards that we draw. So there are character cards, there are plot cards, and then executives have note cards. So, for example, at the beginning of play, John is going to draw 3 character cards or 3 plot cards, whichever he chooses. And he is going to pick the one he likes the most and put it on the table face down. Then a plot card is going to be placed next to it, or a character card, whichever he didn't choose. So he's going to know half of what he is about to pitch. Britta will do the same, me as well. We are then going to have 45 seconds to look at our cards when it's our turn and come up with the pitch and start pitching this movie. At any time during the pitch, and you can make it as detailed as you want, Tucker will say pause, and then he's going to give you a note card from the executives. These are meant to trip you up. And then you have to incorporate that into it. So, for example, one of the note cards might be, what if every character was a baby instead? So if you're pitching the next Terminator, you're now pitching Terminator babies.
Right. And to be clear, too, I have a stack of note cards that are all face down, and I've already pulled 3 that I've assigned to each of them, and I have no idea what they say. So I'm not looking. I'm not looking at the 3 cards and going, "Oh, I'm going to give this one to Britta and this one to John." No, it's already been pre-selected. I have no idea what the note's going to be yet, but I'm going to be giving it to you at some point.
Pitchstorm is a really fun game. I've loved playing it. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play it with anybody who I would deem worthy of my improv skills.
Someone listening to this right now is like, what?
No, none of the people I love in my life listen to my podcast. These are all strangers. So, John, you can start with this. Are you going to take 3 character cards or 3 plot cards?
I'll do 3 character cards.
All right, grab them, and you can start reading through them and decide which one you are going to use. What about you, Britta?
Well, I'll do 3 plot just for the sake of being different.
Okay. And I will go with 3 character cards as well. So,
JJ, I have a question too, just a clarification question on the time. So 45 seconds, that's how much time you have to make the pitch, or that's how much time you have to think of the pitch before making it?
You get 45 seconds to think of it and then 45 seconds to pitch.
Got it.
So
now,
I'm sorry.
And are you doing timekeeping?
I will be timekeeping.
Excellent.
Actually, why don't you, since you're
I can
the
certainly do
executive, would you put... There is an app you can download for Pitchstorm, and it's like the Pitchstorm 45-second app, or just use the built-in
I'll just use the built-in
piece
timer
that you've got there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I have chosen the character card I want, so I'm going to put it on the table, and then a plot card goes underneath it. John, have you chosen one card that you would like to play?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, put it down, and then you choose a plot card and put it next to yours, and Britta chooses a character card. Let's read the things we didn't choose. So, for example, I chose character cards. Mine was interior, hospital, a surgeon with a fake medical degree. Exterior, junkyard, a dog who never had a home. So you have to really imagine. So now I have chosen another one that was in my hand, and it's now with a plot card that I do not know. And I'm going to have 45 seconds to come up with what the plot should be. What did you not choose, John?
So the first one, franchise pitch. Choose a character from another player's previously pitched movie. Your movie features them as a grizzled veteran. That's pretty good. And then the other one was external feudal Japan, a young ninja on a quest to avenge their family.
Good. And Britta chose plot.
Yes. So the 2 I didn't pick, one discovers a map leading to a legendary treasure hoard and joins the army to save their aging father in medieval China.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have one more clarifying question.
Yeah.
So since I'll be giving you a note in the middle of your pitch,
You pause it.
You pause the
You
timer.
pause it. Yep.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You pause it. I would say you give them a second to kind of think that thing through a little bit and then start it up again.
You got it. All right.
All right. Ladies first.
Oh,
Britta, you want to
okay.
go first? Or you can choose that you not go first. Ladies' choice.
I kind of feel like you should
can I
go
see
first
you go
since
first?
you
Excellent.
have
I love it.
the experience.
So I'm going to start the first 45-second timer that gives you the prep time.
You
right?
guys can talk during that time. Ready?
Okay.
That has started.
Okay.
All right.
Do you think that JJ's wearing his t-shirt inside out?
I do notice that his T-shirt the sleeves are longer than the shirt he's wearing over top of it, which is a classic mistake I used to make in high school at the time.
Okay.
He's not even focusing on his cards anymore. He's so self-conscious now.
Yeah. It's good to throw this is what an executive does, is they cut them down before they come in.
Yeah.
They wonder how cheap.
You're already a piece of garbage.
This whole movie's just going to be about shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. If it doesn't have Adam Sandler in it, I'm not interested. Just
Me
letting you know
neither,
that right now.
Yeah, I wish all the character cards were Adam Sandler.
That guy's doing gold on Netflix right now.
And all the plots were the plot
5
of Grown-Ups.
seconds.
All right. I'm ready.
All righty. We're going to start anew.
All right. Exterior, idyllic village. A fellowship of unlikely heroes struggles to adjust to civilian life after returning from war. All right. We have a series of B-list superheroes. They are not affiliated with Marvel or DC. They are the garbage superheroes from the garbage comics that we've seen before.
Pause. JJ, I'm going to pause you right there.
Mm-hmm.
What if all of the characters were trapped by a blizzard? Resume.
And they have recently had to fight each other while they're locked in this blizzard. So they fight each other, and eventually 2 of them fall in love and decide that they are going to give up superhero life completely and move to Arizona where there are no more blizzards. Unfortunately, their skill sets are things like spewing lava from their mouth, and the other one can see into the future.
I'm really sorry. That's all the time we have for
Okay.
that pitch. Thank you very much for coming in today, though, JJ.
Thank you. It was
Appreciate-
really great stuff.
Appreciate your time.
Who's next?
I can go next.
John's next.
All right,
All
John,
right.
you've got 45 seconds to prep. Go.
All right.
I love this game because it's just a little bit like, and you'll find people who are like start pitching and be like, no, that is an episode of Alf.
Right. I'd love it to be a little bit longer than 45 seconds
For the
But-
pitch.
Yeah.
for the pitch time. But,
Really get into it.
well, yeah, just give someone time to paint a picture a little bit more. Like, where are we going? What we got? We got to rush through
Well, the
this.
good news is that with modern board games, you can change the rules all that you
That's
want.
true. That's
you
true.
know?
Well, let's do this first round and see if we want to
Mhm.
modify the house rules a bit.
We also have the expansion packs here, so after a while we'll add in some of these. But like, there's enough of these. Here's the deal: the replay value on this is amazing
Sure.
because you could
Well, and
put these things together.
yeah, the combinations are endless.
Right. Well, I mean, not completely.
Not endless, but that's a math problem that my brain is not prepared to do.
All right, that is time. So, John, if you are ready, we
All
are
right.
going to start your pitch now.
Okay, so intro library. A fed up high school librarian with nothing to lose is abducted by aliens. That's so. I imagine this is my pitch. All right, so she's just had a rough day. Kids like throwing books or whatever librarians have to deal with, and she leaves, and she's like, "What's that? Is that like a star?" And it keeps getting closer.
I'm going to
And-
pause you right there, John.
Okay.
I really like what I'm hearing from you, and I think we
Okay.
might be able to market this. But we have a deal with Pizza Hut. So how can we make this about pizza saving the day? And you've got 22 seconds left.
So the librarian's like, oh my God, what's that? It's getting closer and closer. And then it comes down and there's, and it pulls her in. It pulls her into the spacecraft. And who is it? It's the CEO of Pizza Hut. And he's not a real person. And the whole point of this is that CEOs in general aren't real people.
You know, I really like what you're going with there, and you're lucky that I'm only the CFO of this corporation. So
Yeah.
but I like it. I like it. So what was your name? Brittany?
Britta.
Britta?
Britta.
Nice to meet you, Britta. I've heard a lot of really great things about you from the writers' room.
Thank you. That's good to hear.
So you've got 45 seconds to prepare.
Puts you in like it's
You know,
hard.
One thing,
It's
one
stressful.
thing I'm going to do too is, since you guys are starting by reading what's on the card, I'm not going to start your 45-second timer until you've read what's on the card.
That's a good
So
move.
that way, because I know I kind of cut you a little short there, John.
Okay.
As we're getting our sea legs here.
I forgot about the notes. I forgot you were going to tell me something different. I was like, this story's going to crush. It's going to be great. And then you said pizza. I was like, all right, we'll see where this goes.
I think maybe we adjust to a minute.
Yeah.
Give another
Okay.
15 seconds.
I think that's a good idea.
I was waiting for like it's a spaceship full of pizza people,
10 seconds.
breadstick babies.
I'm also going to change the timer sound because I hate that sound that comes
Yeah,
out
true.
of my
It's aggressive.
It is very aggressive.
Change it to like that alien sonar.
Yeah. Actually, let's see here. Let's do chimes for now. We're gonna
God.
Is that better? That
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it.
we're gonna try it. Okay, go ahead and read us the cards there, Britta. And once you've read the cards, I'm gonna press the start button.
Okay. Interior airport security. A TSA agent fighting for justice steals a magical treasure from a dangerous witch.
Start.
So this takes place in a fantasy world, but where there is actually airplanes, right? So it's like a modern day fantasy. And there's this woman who's been a TSA agent for 5 years. And she's sick of people coming through airport security and bringing things on that aren't
I'm
allowed.
gonna pause you right there, Britta. I'm a little gun shy about doing something with airplane travel because of COVID-19, but I think it needs like 3 more car chases. You have 25 seconds.
Sure. One day, she wants to leave her job, and so she finds this opportunity to steal a treasure from a witch. She doesn't know she's a witch though, and the witch follows her, and that's where you get the car chases. So she steals the treasure, and they're driving around Tokyo, but once again, a fantasy world Tokyo.
All right. So that completes round one. It sucks. Your character is a TSA agent in an airport, but then you got to add car
chases.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I also think we should do this. We should title our movie now that you've had a chance to kind of maybe
Right.
sit on it for
Sure.
a second,
Right.
right? So like, what the title of your movie is going to be. And the title of my is called Bullhead City.
John?
Oh God. Okay. The title of my blockbuster is
You have 5 seconds.
Pizza Hut is
It's called Pizza Hut. That's a great sounding title.
That's
Britta.
that's the title.
What's
Great
the title?
synergy.
What's the title of your car chase TSA movie?
Pat down.
And please tell me her name is Pat.
Yeah.
Like it's Pat
No,
down.
yeah. Pat, the TSA agent.
So, superheroes are a really big market right now, does especially well in China, and I'm tempted to go with that one. We do have this deal with Pizza Hut, and I really have to make sure that we do right by them, and I'm not really sure saying to the CEO of Pizza Hut that he's not a real person is going to do really well.
No, he knows.
But
He's aware.
something really sings to me about the title Pat Down. I can see it on drink cozies. I can see it on hats. I can see it on baby diapers. I think we can really merchandise that title. So we're going to go with Pat Down
All right.
for the first round of movie titles. I'd like to, for the second round, I'd like to actually stretch the time rules a little bit just for this round and see what they're
Great.
doing. So let's try 45 seconds for your prep. Let's do 90 seconds for your pitch.
Great.
That gives a little bit more time for you to actually paint the picture, a little more time for me to decide when I'm going to interrupt with your note, because the note I have to at least go, well, by at least the halfway mark, I have to give them the note, I think.
Yeah.
At least, so that you've got enough time to add it into your
And
story.
you could do it right at the like they could read what their thing is. You could do it right at the beginning.
Sure.
You feel free to do it whenever you want.
Sounds good.
45 seconds to think of it, 90 seconds to pitch it, and then 30 minutes to come up with a name. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Okay, so you can choose. Are you going to take 3 character cards, 3 plot cards? Britta did plot last time. Are you tempted to do character this time?
Yeah, I will. I'll switch it up.
Take 3 of those. You gonna switch it up, John?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Here's a question. What if I draw blank cards?
Blank cards. Well, let's look at the rules real quick. Okay, here we go. I think I must have been maybe like you fill them out yourselves, like a blank, like
Cards Against Humanity
So I would
card?
just put those back, or you come up with what you want. I don't know. Put them back. There's no fun if
Yeah,
nothing's
right, I
written on
agree.
them. You know.
It's like I didn't buy the game so I could come up with the game, you know?
Right, exactly.
It's like there's a reason I bought the game and didn't make a game, you know?
Right. You give me 20 cents back.
Yeah.
I feel like. Oh my goodness.
These are pretty good.
Yeah, I like what I do.
I think we skip reading the ones that you didn't choose. Gives us more time for the actual
Okay.
pitch, too.
Okay.
If that works for you guys.
Okay. Well, Britta, you went first, so technically, or you won, so you're supposed to
Yeah.
go first. So you've got your character card you've chosen. Throw your plot card there. Okay. And would you like to go?
All right.
Um,
So you have, let me just start the timer here. 45 seconds. Let's try Constellation. You're not done yet. I'm just setting the timer sound.
That's a horrible.
I don't know if there's going to be a good choice of the sound that we're going to use. 30 seconds.
John, since the last time we spoke on this podcast, things have opened up. You're doing some stand-up again?
Yeah, I'm doing stand-up's gotten back and going. We're just trying to get a good sized crowd coming again, because I
It's
think
hard.
I think people are starting to realize that they're like, okay, I really do want to go out again. And once they see all their friends out, they're like, all right, I guess we'll go out.
Nothing like peer pressure.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
really
like,
nothing like it.
but yeah, it's starting to turn into kind of what it was, but it's hard to be right before what it was, because it was.
All right,
All right.
Britta. Let me just reset the timer here. Okay, so you've got a minute 30 to go.
Interior, child's bedroom. A childhood toy come to life leads the rescue mission for a missing child.
Okay, so now I've started the timer. Go ahead.
So this movie takes place in the 80s, a nice throwback action film, but with toys. And it's Stretch Armstrong is Cindy Lou's toy, her favorite toy. And one day, Cindy Lou gets kidnapped by the mafia. And Stretch Armstrong comes to life. Kind of a knockoff Toy Story, but it's only Stretch Armstrong. No other toys come to life.
I'm going to pause you right there, Britta. I love the idea of stealing from Pixar. So that's you're speaking my language right now. But people love Pokemon. How do we make this more like Pokemon without getting sued? And go.
So no other toys come to life, but as Stretch Armstrong tries to find Cindy Lou, he does come across weird animals in the wild. They are Digimon characters, which is a up for grabs franchise. Very reminiscent of Pokemon. And action ensues. They finally find Cindy Lou, and of course it has a happy ending. 90 seconds is...
You've got another 20 seconds just to round this up. Do you have a title for this film?
This is called Stretch of Truth.
Excellent. All right. And if you don't use up the full amount of your time, that's fine. If you're like,
I don't need it.
If you're like, my pitch is
Give it to
done, my pitch
someone
is done.
else.
Mhm. I love it. So, JJ, let's go with you next.
Okay, fantastic.
And I'm going to give you your 45-second timer starting now.
Exterior celebrity mansion. An A-list Hollywood star on the edge of bankruptcy is the only witness to a mafia killing.
You've got 30 seconds to prep here still. Right, because you haven't prepped yet.
Yep.
Sometimes the cards really work out together, like
Right.
the childhood toy come to life, saving a child. I'd watch that movie.
I thought you were gonna say the guy had to fight a bunch of Pokemon trainers to get the missing kid,
Yeah.
which would be
Kidnapped by the
Yeah.
mafia that was actually Pokemon.
that was actually
trainers.
12-year-old kids with
They kept throwing balls.
yeah. Yeah, the kid was just playing with his friends, and the toy thought he was kidnapped.
Okay, JJ. So we're going to reset the timer here for 1 minute and 30 if you are ready to go.
I am ready.
And I just like to lead off that do you think we can replace every conflict in this film with a dance-off? Go ahead and start.
Okay, so my A-list celebrity is Matthew McConaughey, and he's on the edge of bankruptcy because, unbeknownst to most people, Matthew McConaughey was actually a pot dealer, but now that California has made pot recreational, and you can buy it in every store, he's had to go to the mafia to ask for some money, and unfortunately, he goes there and asks for money at a time when they are offing someone for putting bombs in the San Andreas fault line because he wants to push California into the ocean. So Matthew McConaughey retreats back to his celebrity mansion and realizes Home Alone style he's going to have to take care of this himself. But rather than figure out a way to melt down his Oscar into bullets, what he decides is every room is going to be themed to a different style of music. And every time he it takes on a mafia member, it's going to be a different style of music. Everything from rap to reggae is involved in this, including a naked bongo serenade at the end of the movie when Matthew McConaughey actually figures out that the mafia don is his real life father and has to kill him by throwing him off of a bridge that Matthew McConaughey, that's being named the Matthew McConaughey Bridge. And when you drive across it, you go, it's all right, all right, all right. The title of this movie is going to be Weed Be Gone.
Perfect timing. It just ended the timer right there. All right.
90 seconds really gives you a lot to flex on that one.
It does. All right, Mr. Kennedy. How about you? I like how JJ read his thing during his prep time. So let's just do that too out loud so we know what you're saying. Go ahead and start.
So external, the Enchanted Forest, 3 little homeless pigs. And we'll do anything for fame on a reality TV show.
All right, you got 35 seconds left to prep.
Okay.
I will say this. So like this game obviously has some real potential for being funny. But it must have been fun to just create these. Like once you had the idea of what the game was going to be and like just sitting there and writing it
To
down.
come up with the cards. I love it.
There's a lot of mafia stuff though, huh? Like
I mean,
10 seconds.
I feel like that's always the
foible in the movie.
the underground plot of every movie. It turns out to be the mafia.
See, I was expecting more like terrorists, but I guess the mafia is less scary.
Obtrusive.
Mhm.
John, we're really excited to hear from you today. You've come highly recommended by Joel McHale. So I'm looking forward to what you have to show us. And you've got 90 seconds starting now.
All right, so Three Little Pigs. We all know that story. The big bad wolf blows it down. But what if? So the pigs are homeless now. That means that their houses are all blown down. We go to court with Sue. So it's like it's basically the OJ trial, but against the wolf that blows down their house. And it's one for the whole family. There's people love, the pigs, they start fighting against each other. They're like, well, maybe my house was never really maybe it shouldn't matter if my house is made out of straw. Maybe there just shouldn't be a guy blowing it down.
I'm going to pause you right there, John. I really like what I'm hearing from you. It's perfect. Only make it a musical where everyone is pregnant.
So the pig's like, you can't be blowing down my house. I'm pregnant. And then the judge is like, yeah, that's true. I'm also pregnant. You shouldn't be doing that. And then the jury at the end, they're like, we, the pregnant jury, find the wolf guilty of blowing while pregnant. And then he goes to jail where he rots. And so does his kid. And so does all his cellmates' kids. And I would call that the name of this movie would be blowing down houses and blowing up the legal system. That would be the name of this movie. And
you finished with 5 seconds left to go. I'm ready to purchase your film as long as you're okay with changing the title to We the Pregnant Jury.
I will change it to We the Pregnant
All
Jury.
right, John Kennedy wins this round, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reality show I'd like to watch. Like, it's juries, but they are all pregnant women.
I'm pregnant too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I think this is the final tweak we make to the timing because we've done one with 45 seconds. We've done with 90 seconds. I think we just do straight 60 seconds as the time for everything.
I like it.
60 seconds to prep, 60 seconds to pitch.
Okay.
All right, John, you won that one, so you're
All
going
right,
to go first
I'm
on
doing
this next one.
I don't know. I kind of like that 3 plot. I'm doing 3.
I mean, the plot's nice because, if the character will fit into something at some point, right?
Yeah. But maybe the first one. I'm going to go with 3.
Okay.
See if it was.
Britta, how about you? Character, plot. You've done both at this point.
I've done both. I'll go character again.
Okay. And I'm going to do 3 plots on this thing right here. Okay. Fantastic. And then Tucker, it should be noted, you're not pre-reading these notes. You're
Nope,
just you're
nope.
you're full on reading them the
moment
first time.
you hear me say them is the moment that I'm reading them.
Mm-hmm.
Sentient is like it can feel, right? Or it's like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can think if this microphone is sentient, it can it's a human being.
Okay.
Okay, I chose my plot, putting a character card on top of it. This one must be more difficult for everybody because there's really some scrutiny going on with these cards. Pitchstorm, by the way, I bought online. It was pitched to me via Facebook, and I think it's because I talk about movies so much. They're like, "Hey, movie lovers, you're gonna dig this."
Trying to find one that's not. Twinkle's not bad. I mean, none of them are good.
This is aggressively long. I don't want to hear that.
Ooh.
That's the one
This
right
is the
there.
JJ
There you go.
one.
Remix.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely the JJ one.
It's gonna be the intro for the podcast.
All right.
Oh yeah, I need a.
Here we go. Now, John, because you won, you get to go first. So you're
Sorry.
forced to go first.
Now,
Should I read it
You've
off?
got your cards right. I'm going to
Mhm.
start your prep time now. So you got 60 seconds.
Should I read it off first?
Yeah, go ahead and read it
so
during the prep time.
in top secret facility, the world's first sentient AI treks across a dangerous desert to save friends.
You've got another 45 seconds to prep.
Okay.
Britta, during
Yes.
this time of COVID, have you been cooking a lot of stuff? Any interesting recipes?
Oh, I wish that was the case, but I've been Uber Eatsing a lot of stuff, like the $40 I spent at Panera last night. The family, I got the like family pack because I'm a family.
Right. They're like, how many utensils would you like? Enough for one.
Nah, yeah. Which came with the family size mac and cheese, a full size salad, and 4 half sandwiches.
So 2 whole sandwiches.
Yeah. But 2 were kids.
Do you name everyone in the household too? So.
Yeah, I'm like, so they put names on the sandwiches. It's like Britta 1, Britta for later.
All right. So, John, are you ready for your 60-second countdown?
Yes.
All right. And go.
So this AI is it was built in a lab. But here's the thing: it was built by the military, and the military it became in the lab. It became best friends with this plane, right? The plane that carries people, and the plane actually goes down in the desert. And the plane is also sentient, so it can talk to the AI. And but they talk like whales or like dolphins, so not humans can understand. But anyway, this AI tapes itself to a longboard. And it has 2 spatulas, and it goes across like it's kind of skiing up the hills of the desert.
I'm going to pause you right there.
Okay.
It's great, but we really want this to appeal to families with young kids.
All right. So the AI, it's like an iPad, so it's playing Baby Shark on the iPad the entire time as it's going through the desert, and it runs into like whimsical desert characters, like a old man like Mr. Rogers or something. I don't know. And he finds the airplane and everyone is dead on the plane, but they're actually no, it's a kid movie. Oh, God.
What's the title of this whimsical desert film with a dead old man on a plane?
Whoops. That's the name of it. Is Whoops.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you get to pick who goes next.
But the Whoops is spelled like
W.
like Elon
O.
Musk named his kid. It's like whoop.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All right. I get to pick who goes
Let's
next.
say you pick which person is up next. But I've got a 12 o'clock sushi I got to get to here, so let's cook along, people.
All right.
I'm the CFO of this big
I'll
company.
have Britta go next.
Sure.
All right, Britta, you've got 60 seconds. Read us the premise.
Interior wizards study an old wizard in need of an apprentice tries to solve a mystery deep under the Pacific Ocean.
Sounds like a combination of Fantasia and Sphere.
Easy. She's the one pitching this movie, okay? Don't give her any ideas there. Also, like when you're doing these, it kind of seems like Hollywood is just total and complete BS, right? Because we've come up with some things that might actually be good movies.
And then you see some of the movies out there, you're like, we've pitched 3 better.
I'm
than
not
this.
unconvinced that this is how they actually pitch movies, is with this game.
I also enjoy that, like, you know, whimsical desert creatures, like in old man.
When I think of whimsy, I think of desert landscapes.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna
10
say
seconds.
like a cactus that could talk, but then I was just like, I don't know, like a guy with a long beard.
One of my favorite gags in any movies in the 3 Amigos when they've got the singing bush and it's like singing, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes.
Britta,
Yeah,
we're,
like that,
we're
but-
really excited to hear what you have to say. I just have a note that was handed down to me. We have a partnership with Amy Pascal over at Sony, and she was saying, we love what Sarah Jessica Parker did in that movie. Can you make this movie more like theirs? Oh, I'm sorry. We love what Matthew McConaughey did in that movie. Can you make this movie more like theirs? And you have a minute.
Okay. So in a world where magic is forbidden, an old wizard named Hank is getting to the end of his years. He can feel it, but he feels it's important to secretly pass on magic. The only problem is, with magic being forbidden, it's hard for him to find an apprentice. So he casts a spell using some of his last energy and discovers that his apprentice resides under the Pacific Ocean, which turns out to be an Atlantis. And he travels down to try to find the apprentice, but It turns out that it's only inhabited by fish people, all with Matthew McConaughey's face. And all they say is, all right, all right, all right, but in different inflections. And it takes them a while to learn the all right, all right, all right language.
That's all the time we have for that pitch. What is the name of this film?
All right, times 3.
I love how Atlantis, named for the Atlantic Ocean, is now in the Pacific Ocean.
That's the twist.
Pasantis.
JJ, you're up next. We're excited to hear from you. You've got 60 seconds to prep. Go.
A competitive figure skater training to win the Grand Prix discovers a terrible secret about their own family.
Yeah, sorry, Britt. I read the card wrong. It had a blank space, and I thought I was supposed to make something up. And then I saw underneath it there was instructions to pick from a different person. So that's why I went from Sarah Jessica Parker to Matt. My apologies for throwing you off there. I'll weigh that in the balance when I'm picking the winner. From
Those note cards are pretty difficult. Once they get added in, I'm like, I forgot, because I always forget about it every time, and that's the only reason you're over there.
Right. It almost invalidates the reason to prep at all in the first place.
Yeah.
You should just go and just start pitching, because you know whatever you plan, the second half of it's probably not going to stick.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
But since you're doing the note cards at random, I feel like sometimes they can work out.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
I'm prepared.
You're prepared?
Be prepared.
Okay. JJ, I paid for your college so that you'd be really good at making these pitches. So I hope I didn't waste all that money. You've got 60 seconds. Go.
All right. This competitive figure skater is played by a completely CGI'd Weird Al Yankovic.
I'm going to pause you right there. So we don't really have the budget for CGI. We're working on sort of a Wet Hot American Summer budget here. Can we do this whole movie with puppets? Actors make me nervous.
Fantastic. I love it. So it's a competitive figure skater, the puppet that looks like Weird Al Yankovic, and they're training to win the Grand Prix. So we're going to use that technology that the Mandalorian has used. So they never actually have to go anywhere, and all the puppetry is done there. And here's the deal. At a crucial point during the Grand Prix, probably lap 60, they're going to find out that they were adopted. Okay, so this Weird Al Yankovic puppet was adopted, and his real family is extremely obese, which is why he's never really felt great as a figure skater or as a Grand Prix driver. He's always wanted to make chicken, and it turns out he's a descendant of the Colonel Harlan Sanders. And so what he decides is he's going to use the last 3 laps to put a chicken fryer on top of the manifold of his car.
What do you call this film?
Cluck a Buck.
Okay. So JJ, we not only don't have the budget for CGI, we don't have the budget for the volume, which is what they used in The Mandalorian, which uses the Unreal Engine. Financially, I'm going to have to do a hard pass on your film. Jonathan, yours was the desert, the whimsical desert, right?
Yeah.
So my grandfather actually died in a desert. So I'm really offended that you would even bring that to this table. You should have done your research before coming in here.
I actually looked you up. That's why I wrote this.
Britta, and the reason I'm going to go with your film is because it reminds me of the plot to the Ryan Reynolds film Green Lantern. And we all know how well that did at the box office. And I think we'd like to try to replicate that success. So congratulations, your movie has been greenlit.
Thank you.
Just like Green Lantern, your film has been greenlit.
Greenlit.
I think it's time that we open one of these packs. Animation NC-17 Superhero Date Night Creature Feature Award Season. I'm going to let the executive choose.
Oh, can you read those off to me one more time?
Animation NC-17 Superhero Date Night Creature Feature Awards Season.
Ooh, it's between Creature Feature and NC-17.
I mean, just for fun, let's do NC-17.
Let's do
right?
NC-17. Let's rack it up.
We don't have to worry about the FCC.
We're gonna really own that explicit label on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. Okay. So this is.
Can I get a water?
This is written as the NC-17 deck is an expansion for Pitchstorm that includes 100 terribly offensive new characters, plots, and notes that should be immediately buried in the back of your closet and only removed when you have the house to yourself. Ooh. Okay.
Are you gonna shuffle them in? Oh, they're different colored, huh?
Yeah, no, we're going to play just with these.
Okay.
So, like...
I see, but I kind of feel like you should take one from each. Like you should take an NC-17
Sure. How about this? So if you
character
take...
plot, and then
Yeah, if you take, like, a plot and then the character from the other
because
pile.
I think that's
Okay.
better to like have one that's
to mix it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that idea. I smell what you're stepping in. Yeah, so Tucker, I'm going to give you these note cards. These are new note cards, and then what we'll do like this is the small pile of plot is the new NC-17, and the small pile of character. So whichever one you choose the opposite for
The random,
putting them
right?
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I like 60
So-
seconds. I think 60 seconds is a more amenable
Yeah.
time. Does that work for you guys?
Loved it.
Great use of the word amenable.
Right.
Would you, Britta, like plot or character?
I am going to do plot on this one. And actually, I'm going to take plots from the old deck and then do a random NC-17 character that'll go along with it.
I like it.
How
Now,
about you, John?
You've got 2 wins, right, Britta? And John's got 1?
I
Correct.
believe so.
Okay.
JJ
JJ's
has
got a goose
zero.
egg.
We keep
I've got
track
0,
of
yeah.
the wins.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
At the end of this,
One of you's getting a
us is-
development deal for a whole franchise.
Wait, there's
John.
a bunch of guys out in the hallway
Yeah,
just
yeah.
waiting to buy our movies.
Yeah. Some of them are going to be spun into Netflix originals.
Yeah. That TV over there is actually a one-way mirror, and they've been watching you this whole time.
Would you like character or plot?
I'll do 3 NC-17 plots, and then I'll do a character from not.
There you go. And I am going to do 3 regular characters. All right, fantastic. One of them is blank, so I will draw a new character.
Your note cards have all been drawn, and I have not seen them
Okay.
yet.
I'm very actually excited for the NC-17 notes.
Are you? Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
I wonder if people are going to hear me blushing through the microphone.
Okay. I've chosen my character, so I take an NC-17 plot to put beneath it. John, have you chosen which one you're going to go with?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And so you need a regular character, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would watch these movies.
Would you?
I would definitely watch these movies.
Okay, Britta
Is that from like being
the
stuck
discount
inside
price for the
COVID though, and like no new movies coming out,
I mean,
or do
just
you
in
think
general, I just want to see. I was like, it's
I
the
guess
kind
I
of thing where if I read the back of the movie box, I'd go, let's see what happens in this one.
right? I would love someone if there is a listener of JJ Meets World. I'd love for you to put together a fake poster for some of these, some
Yeah.
character art.
Oh,
Britta, you won, so you can choose to go first or make somebody else go first.
I'll
Your
go
choice.
first.
Okay.
Get it out of
Okay,
the
so
way.
you've got 60 seconds to prep starting now.
A trigger-happy police officer tries to break the record for baking the world's largest pizza.
Okay. 50 seconds left.
So years ago, Natalie Deutsch was showing an old member of Linebenders a bottle of water she bought, and she's like, "Yeah, when you buy this bottle of water, they donate $1 to kids needing water, like in Africa." And Joel Moline goes, "Or you could just give $3 to kids in Africa and use a reusable bottle." And he it was like in your face.
Dang.
And I think of that whenever I look at bottled water.
That's
Do you think of anything when you look at bottled water, John?
it's usually just like I'm gonna drink it. You know,
I can't wait to get
I
you
don't look
inside
at
of me.
water until I'm like I need it. You know,
They say that when you buy a bottle of water, you shouldn't reuse it over and over again because you're actually
it starts
putting
to break down.
Yeah. So people
Really?
like Phil Goodell are getting sick all the time.
Britta, just read us the premise again real quick before we start.
A trigger-happy police officer tries to break the record for baking the world's largest pizza.
Go.
So Tom has been working on the force for 35 years, and he's never had a problem with how many people he shoots until recently. Times are tough. Rules are changing. He gets laid off. He doesn't know what to do.
I'm gonna pause you right there. I'm really excited because the Law and Order genre in general is almost guaranteed money in the bank. But what if this story was actually about repopulating the world after the apocalypse? Hot, right? Make it sexy.
So he's got his box of stuff from his desk that he's cleared out. He's walking down the street and he sees a sign that says pizza competition. And he's like, that's my calling. So he goes to bake the world's largest pizza. But while he's in the competition, all of a sudden a asteroid hits Earth and creates a nuclear winter that forces a apocalyptic future. And it also bakes his pizza for him. So he wins the competition, but no one's there to see him win. Then he's...
I think I feel like I can see this movie, but I need to hear the title for it to really ring true.
Apocalyptic Love.
Okay, that sounds sexy.
And pizza.
Now you're talking. Okay, Britta, thanks for coming. Why don't you just you go out into the lobby and tell the next person you want to come in.
Sure. JJ, you're up.
Okay.
Hey JJ, nice to see you again.
Hey, great to see you. How's your wife?
She left me for you. That's kind of a weird question you'd ask me in the beginning. Not getting off to the right foot here, are you?
No.
So let's hear the premise, and you've got 60 seconds.
Interior sushi restaurant. A young couple on the verge of breaking up on a quest to seduce the Pope.
You've got 50 seconds to prep.
Fantastic.
I miss eating at sushi restaurants. I haven't done that for a long time.
Yeah.
Is that really what you're doing today?
No, I'm not actually doing that today.
Oh.
My character is, but when I lift the mask off, it's just plain old me underneath here. And no, plain old me is going to be eating buffalo wings and watching UFC 252, drinking Coors Lights. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
It's like it's like sushi, but
That's
better.
like the opposite of sushi. That's like if you could do it. If they were like, what else is there to do other than sushi? That would be the complete opposite.
However, I would love to be in Tokyo in the middle of the night eating sushi and watching UFC with a bunch of like Japanese businessmen. Like that would be flipping awesome. Are you ready to go, JJ?
I am ready.
I'll look at you. You haven't even used up your full 60 seconds.
I'm ready.
So go ahead.
So a young couple opened a sushi restaurant in South Central Los Angeles, and unfortunately times are tough because the Pope, the first female Pope, has come out and said sushi is against God's will. God does not think rice and fish should touch. And so their business is really bad. So they decide that they're going to have a caper, and they are going to disgrace the Pope by seducing her and showing everyone that she is not exactly as she is. And eventually what they'd like to do is gas the Pope so that they can put sushi on the Pope's nude body and then eat it off of the Pope.
I'm going to pause you right there.
Yeah.
JJ. Bill Cosby wants to play the love interest. Can you make that work? You have 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's Bill Cosby in drag as the world's first female Pope. And also the world's first Pope who has a Twitter account. And that's how the couple actually gains access, is they catfish this Bill Cosby in drag female Pope to get into the Vatican.
What's the title of this film?
Oh, sushi.
That's great. Get the fuck out of my office.
Okay, thank you. It's good.
Send the next guy in, please.
I know Cosby personally.
Send
if
the
that
next
helps.
guy in, please.
Okay. Kennedy, you're up.
Tell Cindy I say hello, and to say hi to the kids for me too. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Are you from the Kennedys?
Yeah, my dad's last name is also Kennedy.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
That's good enough. You've got 60 seconds to prep. What's the film about?
So franchise pitch. Choose a love interest from another player's previously pitched movie. Accepts an invitation to the world's most awkward dogfight.
You've got 48 seconds to prep.
Okay.
I'm seeing dollar signs with these pitches, everyone. I'm excited to see what McDonald's thinks about the ones we picked.
You know, I was just reading about how McDonald's gave such horrible notes, like on the making of Batman Returns, and they're like, "What is the black stuff coming out of the penguin's mouth?" And that was like a choice Danny
They were
DeVito
giving.
had made.
Why was McDonald's giving notes?
Because
The toys.
like they
Were
had
too
a lucrative
terrifying for children.
Yours. I don't remember. I'm trying to think.
I mean, I didn't.
Wait, I don't really
deal.
get
Mine
this.
is my love interest is technically Bill
Bill
Cosby
Cosby
as a
and
female
drag.
Pope.
Okay.
I would just say you just pick any character from someone else's pitch that you want to use as
could
the
be
love
any
interest.
Mine
other
was
game?
the cop, like that got fired.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, Mr. Kennedy, you have 60
All right.
seconds starting now.
So the cop, he's down on his luck, like you said. It's not fair, and after the eating contest, he goes and he accepts an invitation to the world's most awkward dog fight, and he actually gets really good at dog fighting. Like he doesn't realize, like he thinks he's getting really good at it, but really it's just him fighting dogs.
Pause. Can we make the Holocaust central to the plot?
So obviously he's a Gestapo, and he's there's a lot of stuff going on in Germany at this time, so you can't really blame him. You know what I mean? This is what he was told his whole life is right. You can blame him. You know, I didn't mean that. You could totally blame him. But the plot is he goes and he wins the German dogfighting championship, and then America wins the World War II, and then he loses everything.
What's the title of this film?
9 dogs with like NEIN.
It's like 9, like the German, like so no
No
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah, because he wants to get rid of all the dogs and the Jewish people, obviously. So,
JJ, what was the title of your film again?
Oh, sushi.
If you're down for a title rewrite, I think we could work with you. How does Leonard Part 7 sound?
Oh, I very much so. That'd
Sold.
be great.
Sold. You've just sold your first pitch
Thank
today,
you.
young
Hooray!
man.
I did one.
Young man, and I forgive you for the infidelities with my wife.
That's fine because I mean, if it's gonna help, she's left me.
Right.
I'm so glad you didn't pick up my.
Oh no, yours is being turned into a Hulu original
Yeah.
series. That's really
Just so you know, that
doc.
document my secretary had you sign, we still own your pitch. We just may not have greenlit it for you.
It's almost as bad as The Day the Clown Cried. You know, like somebody bought that where Jerry Lewis plays a clown in an internment camp. So someone really bought that. Okay, so let's do one more round, and then then I think we've well play tested Pitchstorm at this point. So Britta, would you like plot or character, and then
Are we
from
still
which
doing
pile?
NC-17?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I will do 3 NC-17 character cards this time.
What about you, John?
What did I do last time? I did plot. I'll do 3. Yeah, 3 characters.
From which one? NC-17.
Actually, I'll do 3 characters, just normal, and then I'll do a plot.
There you go. And I'm going to do 3 plot from the NC-17.
I like how the fact that Bill Cosby was involved was the thing that made it NC-17.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I really thought that like the NC-17 pack was going to be like basically turning everything into porn.
Right.
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 But instead it's just like making you super uncomfortable and
Yeah.
question like your morals with the Holocaust
Yeah.
and putting Bill Cosby in a movie these days. I also can't believe that you didn't make a Jell-O joke in your pitch.
Oh God, missed
I
opportunity.
have a question real quick. So all the cards that I drew were choose a character from a different. Would I be able to do a suicide one where I just take one and I have to go with whatever the
Yeah,
character is?
yeah.
Because
I
I don't.
think-
I don't like picking it from other. I want to like
It's
think
hard
of
to
it.
remember.
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right.
You can choose one at.
Yeah, I got it.
He's
Yeah,
happy
yeah,
right off
we're
the
good.
bat.
We're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Okay. So I need a character card from the normal pile. There we go. And you need a plot from the NC-17. There you go. All right. Since I can choose, John, I'm excited to hear yours.
Okay.
Patiently waiting that I can steal something from it. So I think you can go first.
Yes.
go first?
You have
Okay.
60 seconds starting now for your prep.
All right. So external football field, a controversial small town football coach, and then must fuck something every 20 minutes or else they explode.
45 seconds for prep.
I spoke too soon about the cards making everything porn.
Yeah.
Love it.
And like, the date night ones are going to be great. Really.
Right, because I imagine that's like romantic comedy tropes.
Mhm. Here's the deal. If I was really going to write a script, my first thing I would do is say like, okay, what's a piece of miscommunication that I could stretch out for 90 minutes.
Mm.
Easily resolved. So like
a Lifetime movie.
exactly. Like I feel like that's the plot of like every kind of throwaway movie out there is it's just a small piece of miscommunication.
I should say Hallmark movie because Lifetime movie is more like who's the killer all of a sudden.
Who's the killer and who loves Christmas the most?
Great. John, we're really ready to hear this story. I'm going to give you a note right away, though,
Okay,
just off the bat. What if every character in the movie was trying to have sex with the hero? You've got 60 seconds, go.
So we all know the story of Jerry Sandusky. What if it was an action movie? What if he needed to do what if he was a walking nuke? And if he didn't do what he did, they wouldn't be there. So this movie is my note. What was my note? Oh yeah. So everyone they don't want to die. So they're like, Jerry, just like be quick, and then I'll get back out on the field. And and Jerry, he plays a hero. His whole background is you can't fuck, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck. And he has a hard upbringing, and thank God that timer goes off.
What's the title for this film?
Jerry.
We're gonna call it Jerry's Kids.
Oh no, why can't it be Sand Fucks Me?
Jerry Sand. Oh, did you say Jerry Sand Fucks Me? Yeah.
You can take that one if you want. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that'll be it. That'll be.
Oh, who would you like to pitch next, John?
I'll have JJ go.
All right, JJ, you've got 60 seconds for your prep starting now.
A grizzled veteran returning home gets stranded on a deserted island full of horny co-eds. Okay.
Another 52 seconds. Oh, that was a hard
I don't
laugh.
need it.
You don't need it? You're ready to go? All righty. Are you ready? You've got 60 seconds starting now.
This is the next Rambo film. Sylvester Stallone, still playing John Rambo, a grizzled veteran who is returning home, finds out that he actually doesn't have a home anymore. The America that he left during the Vietnam War no longer exists. So he decides he'll just go back to Vietnam, a place where he felt at home. And his plane, a biplane, actually crashes. And unfortunately, when it crashes, it also crashes into a Carnival cruise ship. And the Carnival cruise ship, only a handful of survivors are there. They were all on their way to South Padre Island for spring break.
Pause with your last 20 seconds. Can you answer it? What if the villain was obsessed with butt stuff? That would be quirky, right?
They end up in an island where they've never seen other human beings, certainly not with white skin. And so all of these horny co-eds are trying to get it on, but Rambo's got to unite them together because the villains, the natives of this island, continually are trying to poke them in the butt with spears. And the spears also look like phallic penises, which is why this is called Rambo 6 Penis Island. I mean, in all honesty, could you do any worse than the last Rambo movie? Rambo Home Alone.
Okay, Britta, you're last up. 60 seconds starting now.
The world's most fuckable horse fights in bloody gladiator death matches.
This episode is not. If you haven't turned it off, if you have children nearby, this is the one that you should turn off.
John, do you have 2 wins or 1 win?
I have 1.
You have 1, and Britta's got 2, and JJ's got 1. Okay.
Britta's really thinking this one out. A lot of people ask Tucker about the poker chips that he keeps on his desk when we're recording, and it's just something that you use.
It's a fidget.
Yeah, just you touch them and you move them, and
Yeah, it's what I fidget with.
Do you play poker?
I mean, I do with friends. I know how to play poker, but I'm not routinely playing
What's
it.
your fidget? Do you just like pick them up and drop them?
You riffle them. You riffle them.
Yeah. Oh, is that the one where you like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just you just riffle them like that. That was a shitty one, but yeah.
Hey, do you know how you wake up Lady Gaga? Poker face.
Oh my god. That's so great. Okay, Britta,
Okay.
about the most fuckable horse.
Yeah, world's most fuckable horse fights in bloody gladiator death matches.
Starting now.
So everyone remembers that that guy that died from getting fucked by a horse.
Yeah,
Familiar with the story? They've never really made a movie about it, which I think is unfortunate, about what happened to the horse after that.
Pause. What if we make this a horror movie about minorities taking our jobs? You have 45 seconds.
So after he kills a man, his owner knows that he can't make money selling him for sex anymore. So he turns the horse out by himself, and the horse stumbles into an underground gladiator ring and decides that this is his new calling and starts to fight as a gladiator horse. But the whole movie is an allegory for racial tension, and a Mexican horse comes and will work for cheaper.
What do you call this equestrian film?
The how it hangs.
You're so good at things. I cannot think of a name, and Britta's been nailing it every time.
So JJ actually met with Stallone last week over brunch.
Great.
We had a really good conversation. But he says the Rambo thing is dead. He's not interested. Maybe we get Chris Hemsworth to come in for a reboot, but he's doing that Hulk Hogan movie right now. I like your pitch, but I think for right now we're gonna have to put it in development hell and let it just sit there for a little bit. Let it cook a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe we'll come back to it.
I mean, Carnival Cruise Lines aren't going to be around for much longer. That's why I thought we could get a cheap cruise ship from them right now.
well, I've got some inside baseball on them. I'm not super worried about how the carnival industry is going to be doing for the next
really?
couple of
Okay.
years. John, I'm trying to even remember what your movie pitch was. I guess that means I'm not going to pick it.
Jerry Sand fucked me.
Jerry Sand fucks me. That's
So my Michael Bay movie.
That's right.
It was good.
I'm tempted to. However, Britta, I've got a development deal with Rich Sommer, who's been looking to do a horse-based movie ever since he saw the play Equus at Concordia, and it brought him to tears. Would you see Rich Sommer as more of the horse keeper or as the horse in your film?
Oh, I think he's actually just in the beginning, and he's the man that dies from being fucked by the world's most fuckable horse.
Mm.
I disagree with that logic, so we're going to go with John's movie.
I mean,
Jerry's-
yeah.
Please don't go with my movie.
It's already greenlit, and I've tweeted out your name as the
Jerry
as the
Sandusky.
showrunner.
Having sex
There's
to
a lot
save
I want
the
to add to
world.
this. Like, I like that
Jerry
you
Sandusky
decide to say
comedy
nay to the horse movie.
Nay, nay.
I enjoy that. Also, I really feel like you're not giving Stallone enough credit for needing money. But I do agree. I mean, you could probably get a lot of the people in the Jerry Sandusky ripoff to play themselves.
So JJ, I have I think we need to do a lightning round between John and Britta because they both have
I think so too.
points, and I think what we're going to need them to do is to cut to you momentarily for the titular line of the play of the movie. So at any point in your next pitch, you're gonna point to JJ and go, what is the titular line that the lead character says?
Are you
That
familiar
names
with
the
this
film?
phrase, John?
Is it like they're like catchphrase kind of?
This is the line that has the title of the movie in it,
Oh,
Yeah.
which is where. So if your movie is called Speed, then there's the line where Keanu Reeves talks about how we need to make sure that the speed of this bus doesn't go under 50
Or if
miles
you're
an hour.
any Fast and the Furious movie.
What's the name of the line?
The titular line.
Titular.
It's the
Like
title
the
line.
title
line. The
Okay.
title line. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a great Upright Citizens Brigade sketch where a guy
Yeah.
claims that he has the title line, the titular line, in like the movie Out of Africa and Star Wars.
And I think
I just hate all these Star Wars.
I'm going to let you finish your pitch for this one, and then I'm going to give you your note, and then you'll have another 30 seconds to incorporate your notes. Since
Okay.
This is a special lightning round.
Also feel like
Wait, say that one more time.
So you're going to have the full 60 seconds to do your pitch,
Okay.
and then I'm going to give you the note, and you'll have an additional 30 seconds after that
Okay.
to incorporate
Okay.
it.
I kind of think that
But at any point in your pitch, you go at JJ, and then the character says, and it's the title line of the movie.
how do you feel about going in with no prep time?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Can we?
I also
can we do
think
whatever cards we want, or do we still have to do the NC-70?
I think
17.
JJ just
Should
gives you
pick
your
'em.
card. Just gives
Yeah.
you your cards.
Okay.
And yeah, you're getting no prep time. We're really going crazy with this. At any point in your 60 seconds, you can point to JJ for your titular line.
right. You're gonna, but they have to provide me the title, right?
Well, they're saying,
Or you provide the title in your line,
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
which will help John since he's so bad with
I'm
titles.
so bad at it.
So do they have their cards right now?
They
Yes.
do.
Okay.
They've got 'em.
So, Britta, we're going to start with you. Go ahead and read your card, and then I'm going to start the 60 seconds.
Okay, interior choir practice. A demon disguised as a sexy altar boy discovers the secret world of modern wizards.
Starting now.
So this takes place in a church, and there's this little boy named Michael who has never really felt like he's fit in. When he is in church and joins the choir, he tries so hard, but he just can't hit the notes, and he feels out of place. And it turns out it's because he is actually Satan's spawn, but he didn't know it. His mother was raped.
Jesus.
But don't worry, because it turns out there's secret magic in the world. And one day, Michael, behind the church, finds an old homeless man that he gives an apple to. And in exchange, the homeless man teaches him magic and gives him a wand that he turns himself into an angel and becomes the angel Michael. JJ, the line at the end of the movie as he's flying up to heaven is,
Oh, this is the titular line as he's flying up to heaven. It's called, he's recently just burned down the church, so it's called Holy Smoke.
I'm really excited about Holy Smoke. I can see the direct to home market VOD really being successful for this film. What if we make the villains a bunch of child soldiers? You have 30 seconds.
So after Michael gets the wand, I breezed over this part in the beginning, but a bunch of other magicians come out of the woodwork, and by woodwork I mean the sewer grates, and it turns out that they've been kidnapped children who have been taught to steal magic, and they can smell it.
That's it. That's your 30 seconds. Holy Smoke sounds interesting.
Smell magic.
I smell magic.
But they have to be kidnapped at a very young age to be taught how to smell magic.
That'd be a good name for a movie. I smell magic.
Yeah, right?
All right, John, go ahead and read
All right.
off your premise.
I
and
haven't
I'll-
seen these
I'll
yet.
hit the start button right after
right.
it.
So exterior, the open road. A mysterious drifter running from their past is cursed to turn into a sexy werewolf every full moon.
Go.
So, it starts off just a shot of a guy in his car, and he's driving, and he's like, "Whoa!" and he slams on his brakes, and it's a guy who's like naked, and he has like a torn like pants or whatever, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And he gets in the car, and he's like, "Thanks for picking me up, man." And then the clouds go away, and you see the moon, and then he starts learning more about him. He's like, "So where are you headed?" And he's like, "Transylvania." And he's like, all right, that's a little odd. Is that this way? I don't even know where. I thought that was a made up place. And then he's like, oh no. And then the guy's like, what? Did you forget something? And he's like, no, you didn't forget anything. You're a drifter. You know, like you have everything you need. And he's like, no, even worse. And his tits grow and they're voluptuous, and he's And then his penis.
We're gonna need that title line.
Yeah, and after he gets fully into the werewolf, he goes the main the driver. He looks at him and bites his lip and says,
and he says, "War is hell."
War is Hell, the sexy werewolf movie. Can you cast my two creepy uncles as the leads? They really need this. 30 seconds.
"Yeah, I can."
There we go.
I thought you were gonna say something like, "Damn, nice werewolf tits," or something like that.
You're really focused on these werewolf breasts.
I know.
I have seen.
But then
Sexy
also,
werewolf.
but also penis.
Yeah, he's obviously a transvestite
Werewolf.
Yeah.
Going to Transylvania.
He identifies as
He
male.
identifies as male, female, and werewolf.
Oh.
So this is an inclusion.
Really?
Exactly.
I mean, this could play at a lot of
This would-
LGBTQ festivals.
It is
W.
like Pride Week.
Mhm.
LGBTQW, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then they're like, "You can't be a werewolf," and it's like, "Watch me." And then he's a werewolf.
He's very brave.
Yeah,
Very
he would
brave.
Definitely need a Michael J. Fox cameo to tie in the Teen Wolf.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. So it's choosing between sexy werewolf and child soldiers who can smell magic. And while I can totally see Benicio del Toro coming back for another werewolf film, child soldier movies are really big right now. Just like when, Armageddon and all these other movies are coming out with Meteor films. We had a period of time where it was World War II movies with The Thin Red Line and Saving Private Ryan. There are 7 other child soldier movies in development right now, but I know they're at least a year away. I think we can crunch the numbers and knock this thing out in 3 months. What do you think, Britta?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Done.
What was the title of your film again?
Holy smoke.
Holy Smoke. Let's stick with it. I like it. Holy Smoke, it's greenlit. And
Now,
you are
can
the winner.
Can I ask a question though?
Sure.
I mean, I really do
Are
like
you?
the idea of this werewolf movie. What if the old man who's given the apple is a werewolf, a sexy werewolf, and this is part of his redemption?
Is being a werewolf itself intrinsically magical? Because I want to know if the child soldiers are able to smell where the werewolf is in the forest.
It's more demonic. It's more about the journey.
Listen, I think we can find some good synergy between these concepts and really make it happen. So, John, if you're willing to just join the writer's room, and maybe you're not going to get development dollars, but you are going to have a say at the table for a couple
Yeah,
of
I've
days.
actually had a lot of thoughts about the child soldier movie.
That's great.
So,
That's
like,
great.
what if they were all werewolves?
If they're all sexy child soldier werewolves who can smell magic.
And I think your Uncle Paul and your Uncle Tim are both going to really love their opportunities in this picture, Tucker. I really think that we've got a go picture here.
Yeah. All right, let's make it happen, folks.
All right, the game is called Pitchstorm. You can find it. It's made by Skybound Games. You can buy it online. You can buy the expansion packs if you want, and it's pretty fun.
Can I borrow this game?
You sure can. Yeah,
This
take
game
it
is
home
fun.
and memorize
Yeah.
it. Hey, John Kennedy, Britta Nelson, thanks for being guests. Thanks for play testing this game with us. This was some fun stuff.
Thanks for having me. This
Loved
was super
it.
fun. Yeah.
That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the sites the cool kids are using these days. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by visiting moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, check out linebenders.com, where you can find direct contact info for JJ or booking information. I can't believe that you think anybody could play John Rambo other than Sylvester Stallone. Even after Stallone dies, we're going to take some of his marrow and Jurassic Park him so that we can still enjoy Rambo movies.